right, good morning. It's Monday morning and I'm back on this. Yeah, that brush did a little bit rougher than I wanted it to be, but it came out okay. It's going to be covered anyway, most of it anyway, so it's fine. I will need to put the exhaust sleeve on that, and I'm going to put the sound deadener on the floor of this now, and get ready to put the engine back in it. So I guess that's my goal today: sound deadener, sound deadener, sound deadener, engine. All right, well, let me get busy and get to work on that, huh? All right, I always really like this this Dynomat. This is a little bit different. This is Eastwood X-Mat, but it's the same stuff. I just it was just a little bit cheaper, so I went ahead and went with it. It's basically the same. So let me get the rest of these pieces cut around this exhaust, and then I'll get this piece cut and that piece cut. Probably have to do that in twos because that's the width of the sheets, and I want to try to get the most out of each sheet. You know what I mean? Well, obviously. And so I'll take my scraps and try to fill around this and that. So, all right, we'll just keep going. It's looking good. All right, so cool, my camera's acting funny. I think that's about all the Dynomat I can do until I put the engine in there. I think I may cut strips though and put them along about halfway along here. The top I don't want to mess with because my panels need to be adjusted and go up flush against there. But I could put a strip all the way around. That would probably help out some. So I think I'm gonna toy with that idea a little bit. If I'm gonna do it, I need to do it on the backside now, so that the excuse me, so that when the motor's in there, because I won't be able to get it in at that point. So I'll probably do from this bar all the way around here, or wherever that'll go, I guess. That way I have some sound netting into the bottom of that. So let's do that. Let's figure out what it should be there. Maybe I'll set a panel up there, see how far it goes down. I'll measure that out, and then we'll do as much as we can anyway. All right, so I think it looks pretty good all the way around. I'm going to trim this down to 2 inches back here because I left that a little high, but I think I'm going to trim that down just so the panel doesn't hit it in any way. I did screw up though. As I was looking at putting it here, I realized I put that L channel there, and that L channel is going to go up underneath that exhaust. So I'm going to have to cut that off that side. Yeah, that sucks, but it has to be done. So let me figure all that out. I'll figure all that out, and then we'll cut the L channel. I guess it's that side, the far side. We'll get it cut off, and what can you do? Move forward. All right, well, that fixes our self-made problem. And that's all fitted in there now. So we can adjust it. So let's get this thing primed up here, and we'll let her dry. We'll get her primed. It's funny that the cold weather should be screwing me, but it's really not screwing me. as far as putting this down. But it's not, because it's actually easier when it's kind of hard to get down than it is when it's soft. I've done it both ways. Soft just sticks to everything. Once you lay it, you're done. But with this, you can adjust it around a little bit. It actually kind of unsticks and lets you move it and whatever. So once it does get hot, it'll just really stick down good, I'm sure. But yeah, if it was a little bit warmer though, it'd probably help me get the air out of it underneath. But I think I've gotten it out in most places. Just a couple little places need work. But yeah, so let's take this outside and work on this. I can roll on this for days probably after I get the other stuff done. I can sit here and play with it. But yeah, that camera keeps getting off. I guess it's too cold for it already, and it's not even that cold. It's in the 50s. Well, it's probably maybe 50s. It's in the 40s anyway. Doable. It's not freezing. So let me not play with this for right now. Let me get this outside, get it primed, and then we can come back in and set that to the side, and then we can come back and work on this a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. See, that's what the problem is. I don't know exactly where this is going to sit, so I don't want to do the sound deadening around it until we figure out exactly where it's going to go. And then we'll put the strips in there around. All right, boy, this black pipe stuff wears me out, but I got the exhaust on there ready to go. There's only one more piece that needs to go on there, but I can put that on there after the engine's in. I'm gonna have to be really careful when I put the engine in there and that this doesn't get caught up in anything. When I wanted to get it on there before, I was trying to work around that. I still have to put the end on. Maybe I should go ahead and do that too, huh? Since, well, it'll be out front, it'll be out of the way. So I can still do that, it won't be in the way of the engine, so good, okay. So the next thing is to put the engine on here. I got a buddy that's coming. He thinks I'm gonna help him with his tractor, which I am. What he doesn't know is he's gonna help me put this in there. So I'll get that all ready, get it hooked up. And then when he gets here, I'll drop it in here so that I don't hit this muffler and be really careful. Yeah, and then we should be in good shape. From then on out, I'm not planning on taking it out ever again. So it'll be permanently mounted in here this time, if I have my way. So we'll get that in there. We'll figure out the sides and then where this piece goes in here. And then we'll get the rest of that sound deadener in there. And you know, hopefully by then that part out here is dry. We can get some yellow paint on there and we'll get it permanently in there. I got the back side of the bottom plate getting painted or drying so that I can put the sound deadener, I can put it up in there and put the sound deadener on it. And we'll be in good shape. I'll have to put sound deadener on this once it's painted yellow over the humps. But I think we're making pretty good headway. All right, got Bob backing out of here. He had a line short on his tractor, so we got that fixed and put a new battery in, and then changed the fuel filters on the little Kubota tractor. Got it?
Okay.
You're good.
Sure.
Yeah, come on. All right. See you, Bob. How you gonna back up? All right, so we got the fuel filters and everything done on that thing, so he's out of here. That's good. Get another year out of that. Yeah, I don't know what happened. He was doing the screen that's in front of the radiator and he was pushing it in and it sparked and basically melted the top of the battery off, the negative, and melted the negative line. So we put a new negative line on there, wrapped it all up, put extra sheathing over it, and put it all back in, put a new battery in, and then change the fuel filter. So he's good to go. All right, let's get back at this. I'm putting the, I don't even know that I was filming it, but I'm putting the motor mounts in here. And so I'm just got to get them to reach. I got to figure out this side, make sure those are long enough. I think I'm going to have either too long or too short. I'm going to have to go find a different bolt that's in the middle. But it feels good having it sit in there. I ain't not going to lie to you. I don't have to put it in or out again. So once I get it all figured out, I'll crank it down. And we'll go from there. Let's see if these bolts work. But all right, I'll put you back on speed. If I do anything great, oh, it's been running this whole time. Yeah, that's terrible. All right, so I don't know what's going on with this Rust-Oleum paint. This is the second can that is blown up underneath the cap, and it kind of comes out weird, right? It's not a nice pattern. This one did it. It would just all of a sudden start shooting it, and it would give me a run, which I hate runs. So especially on this side. So I will let that dry up. It's a good base coat. We will sand it down though, knock off those runs before we paint it again. I threw that can of paint away because it just started irritating the crap out of me. But we'll wait for a non-windy, warm day, I guess, to spray, or a place to spray. And yeah, we'll hit that again. I need the longer bolts for the front on this still, and I need to get the reducer ordered for the exhaust. But other than that, we're in really good shape, I think. Yeah, I mean, really good shape, honestly. Yeah, I really need this panel to get done. Once it's done, we'll set it in there, fit it all together with the blower motor inside, and then we'll drill that hole to bolt it to the floor. And then once that's done, then we can take the side panels back off and finish her out. I probably need to hook that exhaust up next just to get it out of the way of where that panel goes. But yeah, I mean, pretty good place. I need longer bolts. I said that already. Yeah, I don't know. All right, well, that's it for me today. I'm going to go inside. It is Thanksgiving week, and we have been cleaning floors and carpets and oiling cabinets and whatever. You know the things you do when you have Thanksgiving at your house. So I'm going to go continue some of that stuff, and then I'm going to relax. I think later this evening. We worked all weekend, so anyway, yeah, I may try to fit this real quick and then call it a night. All right, so it's raining outside, so I can't do any painting, which is probably a good thing because I'm standing here staring at this thing and thought, I need to put the heat shield on. Now I did buy some nice tin heat shield that should go around this and then Velcro on. Turns out that stuff does not fit this, which sucks because they sell it to fit it. So anyway, then I thought, oh crap, I didn't put this manifold cover back on there, so here it is. So I need to wash this up, it's nasty. Then I'll disconnect this, flip it back, take this off, slide the sock on, put this on, put that back on, put this on, and bring it back up and bolt it in. That's gonna be quite the project, even though it doesn't seem like it. I should have thought this out before. I can get the sock over this, but I don't think I can get the sock over that collar. So anyway, live and learn. We'll get this pushed off, taken off, put it on there correctly, and then taken back off. And in the meantime, I'll go clean this up. We'll let it dry for a bit, and then I'll try to get it hooked back on there. It looks like it was safety wired, so it must not fit too well. It must have been really tough to get on there. But it looks like it was safety wired to get her back in there. I don't know. We'll see if we can get it to fit or not, and go from there. It's going on there. It's just going on there slowly. So let me find a pipe clamp to put on that down there to hold that tight. And I guess I can do the same here. Nothing, I don't have anything to cover this manifold piece though. So I'll have to figure that out. But I'll need a pipe clamp on both sides just to keep that from unfraying. Perfect. That'll keep it from unfraying. Get this other one tightened. Put it there because that'll be the bottom. Once this thing flips over, that's good enough. It'll hold that from, like I said, unfraying. That's what we're worried about. All right, well, let me go inside and wash this up, see what I can do with this, and then we'll get it up here and get it on the engine after it dries. All right, good morning. Hey, it's been extremely cold outside. I mean, like cold, like in the 20s, which is cold for us. So I really haven't even been doing anything, I'll be honest with you. I've been inside doing inside jobs. But today I think I'm going to kind of get back at this. I'm going to try to wrap this exhaust. I've got the exhaust wrap in now and wrap this exhaust. And well, I'll wrap that and then put it back on. And then we'll wrap this up and see where it leads us. But yeah, it's good to be back out here. Probably still too cold to paint because it is, but we're getting sun. So sun's warming up just a little bit. There is some wind. I got the door open just to get the sun on the concrete. Maybe it'll warm it up just a bit. But we'll get as far as we can get. I'm not trying to get too much done today. But if I get that wrapped up and hooked back on there, I guess I'll be happy. So that's kind of where we're at. I did get the insulation board in to make the cover for the exhaust. So maybe we'll do that in the other garage where it's a little bit warmer. We'll see. Maybe we'll work out here. We'll see. I don't know. In the meantime, because I mean, we got to recreate that torn up thing over there that you can't see probably from me pointing. But all right, let's get to work. All right, so there you go. That's all covered up. That's pretty cool. Not the prettiest stuff. I mean, I did wash this. It took about 2 weeks to dry, as a matter of fact. I had to put it on the dehumidifier. But I got that. I got this wrapped. I probably should have folded this back underneath here instead of leaving the end of it on there. Probably been nicer. But everything else seemed to come out okay. We'll build the shroud for this. I'll wrap this. I really don't know how to do this because if I start wrapping this, I'm not going to be able to get it. You know, there's still a part that's going to go below the generator. So I guess I'll just wrap it to here. Let's see if I made this right. I think I measured it backwards. But I think it'll be all right. You can come over just a little bit this way. But I mean, there's plenty of room for everything, so I think I'll just leave it just like that. That's a, yeah. But there's another wall that goes here, doesn't it? I wonder how that fits into this. All right, well, I'm glad I didn't go any further back with the exhaust than that because I sure wasn't thinking about this panel, and it's right up against it. I mean, it's dang near touching it. So I got to have some kind of insulation in between there. But it is what it is. At least it's not any worse than that. I just don't want it against this. So I'll put the heat shield in there and go from there. Man, that's tight. Boy, I really could have really screwed up if I went any further back. I could modify this panel and bring it out just a little bit if I wanted to. There's nothing here. It's just space. It's just a heat divider, right, between the two, I think. But my circle fits in there good. That's the good part. Fits just right. actually. So I'll get that other piece on the other side, measure that distance, and then build that piece over it. And then on the back side of this, I'll put the tar mat on the back side so that it keeps that side quiet or quieter. And we'll go from there, but it's looking really good though. I mean, other than it's tight, I wish I had pushed that farther forward. But I did that based on these new pieces. These new pieces are bigger, so everything changed. But anyway, it's looking good to me. So other than I need to really watch when I do this piece on how that's going to fit. But really nice though, other than that. All right, so that works out good. You push this piece in, it's fine. I think that's gonna work. Now we just have to put tar on the back piece of this, which we will later, and then make the piece that goes from as far deep in there as we can go, which will be there, around to there, and then a piece underneath. And then we just need to tape all that together and make a little box. And I think we can probably do that on the front side too, put a little square in the bottom of that. Once it's in, tape it all up, and we'll be good to go. Oh, I see I should have notched this right here too, because that can go, on both sides. This side doesn't matter so much, but that leaves a spaced gap down there because it's not on the ground, it's on top of that board. All right, well, let me continue on, get this piece made. All right, so we got that box made. I covered it totally in the tape because that tin on the outside of that stuff was really thin and it'll get ruined. All right, now that I got the cameras figured out, I got the box done and I think it looks pretty good. I went ahead and covered it in the tin tape just so it wouldn't rip. I got the back side built. I just did it a little bit thinner. We got underneath, and on the other side underneath, all done up, taped in. I think it's gonna be great. So I'm gonna call that a win. I need to clean this mess up, but that's cool. That's cool. I think that's gonna be awesome. All right, so I took this outside and painted it up. So it's got another coat on it. I sanded it down, then painted it up. I got the runs off of it. And it's looking pretty good for a panel that's not gonna be getting seen, so that's fine. I'm tempted to take these panels in and get them powder coated, but at the same time, I don't wanna buy a bunch of foam and all that stuff again too. I guess I could find that sound deadening foam and get it ordered up and then put all new stuff in. But for now, I think we're going to stick with what we got and spray paint. If the spray paint doesn't work, I'll have to wait for a bright sunny day. But if it doesn't work, then I guess I'll go the route of getting them all sandblasted down and powder coated. Take all the foam off and then put new foam on. But that's where we're really at is once this one gets done and we drill the hole and mount it. Really everything else is going, and we'll put the fan on at that point. But everything else relies on getting the panels done and getting them in place. So that'll be the big thing next, is just getting panels sanded and painted. I need warmth for painting though. And then of course the panels have to be in to get the radiator going because it mounts to the front, yada yada. But we'll get it done. It'll just take a little time, one step at a time. But we really made good headway today, getting the exhaust covered, the muffler covered, and headers covered and all that back. So it's back ready to go. All right, well, that's gonna be it for me today. That'll have to dry up overnight or whatever. and then we'll get back at it on a warm day in the near future. All right, I'm out of here.